I am pissed. Not only because of the traffic over here, because they got the road closed because they're paving it, but because of freaking GoPro. Come on, let's go on a ride. So look, even if you're not into motovlogs, don't click off, because this is not your average motovlog, all right? This is gonna be kind of a rant video, but it's such a nice day out, I figured I would ride to work and, you know, kind of bitch about my biggest problem with GoPro cameras. In today's video, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is, what I've done to try and solve it that hasn't worked, and the current test to see if I have fixed it permanently. First of all, my number one problem is not exactly the media mod, but somewhere in the hardware and software, the damn GoPro records in-camera audio only. So I have a lav mic, a lapel mic, plugged in, it's right here, and it runs up to this GoPro. And it's supposed to record my voice, as you're hearing now. But every once in a while, it will record the in-camera microphones and not my, hold on. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, I'm stopping. All right, I had to stop for a minute to make sure it was recording, but we'll get back to why in just a second. So like I was saying, it gets the in-camera audio only instead of my lovely voice through my lapel mic that I have so carefully set up. We as motorcyclists like to get our corners down to where we can corner repeatedly, you know, go around a corner, boom, 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 boom. It's always the same. You know, there's no wrecking and no like, whoa, I went wide. So you improve your skill and your setup. Well, I've improved my skills and setup with the motovlogging gear. I've got the rig, I've got the windshield and the batwing wings and the whole fairing. So I've got the bike set up, and I expect that when I go out, and honestly, I don't get to go out as much as I want to, so I need the recording to just work, and it doesn't. So what have I tried to fix this problem with? Well, first I tried a firmware upgrade. That didn't work. I tried to go out to the bike and unplug and plug in the microphone again. And I found that that mostly works, except lately it hasn't been. And I mean, this is not something where the media mod should be worn out. You know, I've used it for, we'll say 100 recordings, so 100 in and outs. This thing should work for thousands. The microphone port should work longer than the battery, okay? So that was not a solution. Whoa, gravel. Somebody had a oopsie. So since that didn't work, I went to plan C and I did more research, because research is my shtick. You know, I like to go in and do all the research so you don't have to. If I can speed up somebody's achievement of their goals as far as anything that I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. That's why I post so many testing videos. And if you're new here, I'm John, you're of course watching Road Reality, and we do motovlogs and gear and basically GoPro stuff at this point. And any kind of vlogging gear I think would be useful. Mostly catered to motovloggers, but also helpful for other vloggers. And I do some video editing too, so you know, you might learn something there as well. But I am just so fed up with the damn GoPro not working right. Because like I said, I don't have all day to record. I could have waited until tonight and sat down at my desk and recorded this video, but this is a test. And since you're hearing this, the test worked, at least this instance. And I will keep you updated as to what's going on, because it seems like a lot of people are having this problem these days. A lot of people are fighting their GoPros to get the right audio. And that's just a damn shame, because GoPro comes out with all the new stability and the front-facing screens and yada, yada, yada. Feature, 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 tech, 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 tech. And at the same time, they can't get their shit together to get the firmware right. And I think it's the firmware or a bad batch of hardware, either one. But they can't get their stuff together to where you get, here's the corner, yep, I've practiced enough to go around corners, yay. But they can't get their stuff together enough to put out a reliable product. I'm wholly considering going back to the Hero 8 because it was dead nuts reliable, all right? That thing just absolutely worked every time without fail. It just didn't have the audio and video fidelity that this camera has, or the Hero 9, even though I'm still having issues with the Hero 9. It has a dual exposure thing, and I don't know why. I didn't have it, but when I did find out that I was experiencing this issue, I did some research and found out that GoPro supposedly got rid of that issue, but it introduced it for me with a firmware upgrade, which just screams to me lack of testing. So GoPro, get off your ass and do more testing. I'm pissed, and a lot of other people are pissed too. And if I wasn't so tied into their ecosystem, I'd probably go Insta360, but I've got so much GoPro stuff, and it's ingrained into my recording routine. You know, I talk about muscle memory with the motorcycling, but coming out to the bike, putting the camera on the fairing, putting the camera on the helmet, turning the microphone on, or turning the remote on, yeah, words, John. Turning these three things on while I prep the bike and make sure the tires are pumped up and all, and then go out for a ride. That's where my muscle memory is at. So my muscles know what to do, what buttons to press, and I reliably record. Whether or not the hardware works, well, that's a different situation altogether. So all that leaves us with is this final test, and I've mentioned it, but what am I doing? I'm behind a garbage truck. Oh, we got cars up ahead. So I did a factory reset for this test. That's what I'm doing. And what that entails is resetting your frame rate and resolution and your Pro Tune settings and all that. But I have two cameras that are very similar. So I just copied the settings from the 9 to the 10 manually, set them side by side, and side by side, something like that. And I was able to copy the settings over, make sure that everything worked. And I stopped earlier because I couldn't remember if the voice commands were activated or not, because I say GoPro a lot. If you say GoPro and something else, it turns the camera off. You're like, nope. Wow, that road was backed up. See, I told you they had it closed. It was like stop, and they let 3 cars go through. And I was like, nope, it's quicker to go around. So I am testing it, and I will keep you up to date as to whether or not this test works. If you stuck to the end, you found out what I'm doing as a solution. Let me know in the comments below if you have also experienced this issue and whether or not you fixed it and what you did to fix it, because at this point I'm super frustrated and it's a downer every time I get back from a ride and I go, crap, the GoPro didn't record right again. So, you know, it's one of those things. It's like, should I even be doing this? And the answer obviously is yes, because I'm awesome at motovlogging, right? John, you're such a dick. Hey, go. Green light. There you go. But it's still frustrating and it's still depressing to know that whatever it was that I recorded that sounded good and, you know, the words all worked and my mouth worked and all that, didn't get recorded right, and it wasn't my fault. And that's the crux of the issue. You know, I've done all my work. It's GoPro's fault. Hey, we're here. Gil, let's do a jump off. In the middle of traffic. It turns green, it turns green. There is the street glide, folks. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that beautiful bike. Yeah. 2019 street glide, everybody. Before I step into traffic and get run over, let's get back on the bike. Ah. People behind me are like, if they're not playing on their phone, they're like, what the hell is this guy doing? But anyway, we covered the problem, the stuff I've tried to fix it, and the current thing I'm trying to fix it, and why it's so frustrating. And thank you for coming on a ride with me and letting me get my rant out. I feel better. Hopefully you don't feel worse. That would be that would nonplus me or something. I want to use fancy words, but the brain ain't working. The old cashew is not engaged today, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for watching. I'll leave a list to my motovlog gear setup over here and a random video YouTube picks there. And I'll see you guys in the next video, all right? Take it easy, lemon squeezy. Yeah, I don't know what to say for an outro there, but we're still looking at the end cards, right? Bye.